Okay then, Sharon. So, just going to start lesson with a recap. We saw each other yesterday, didn't we? For the purpose of the guys watching the video, that is recorded as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, just tell us a little bit about what we did yesterday and how things went.
Yesterday's lesson was mostly about the general driving, and few of the observations made were like watching it at the junctions, like watching left and right both ways and not focusing on one side, and the same thing at the roundabouts as well, like while entering the roundabout, don't stare at right hand side for a long time, because that will affect the position on the roundabout.
Okay, do you want any help with that today?
I think I'll try to implement it. If
Okay.
I'm not doing it correctly, maybe I'll need some help from you.
Absolutely fine.
And the next point is mirrors, checking mirrors in pairs.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was not doing it efficiently. So that is another area which I want to improve on in this lesson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what you need to do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And just tell, just to make me aware, to refresh me, what specific mirrors was it, and what specific scenarios?
While changing direction, we always look into the center mirror and the mirror to which we are moving.
Yeah. Okay. The appropriate one. Yeah.
For example, if you're moving onto the right hand side lane, we'll watch the center mirror and then the right hand side mirror. Yeah, and
Okay.
the same for the left side as well, and then approaching any junctions or street lights, sorry, the lights,
Yeah.
traffic lights, we should always keep observing the vehicles behind to assess how close they are before we brake.
Okay. All right. And what are you going to do? What are you going to do differently then? Once you've assessed and you've decided, oh, they're close. What are you going to do differently?
If they're very close, then we don't brake harsh. We'll try to give a early signal.
How would you do that?
By pressing the pedal very by tiny amount, like thickness of pound coin, and then our back lights go on and they understand we're going to brake, and then slowly brake. Yeah.
Makes sense. So was it these scenarios that was missing yesterday then? Is that sometimes, all the time, or?
Sometimes I was not observing in the center mirror in the traffic while slowing down. Okay. Yeah.
So it sounds like you know what you need to do. Do you want me to help you with it again, or do you want me to just let you know if let you know if you're not doing it? Yeah. All right. Good. And what else did we do? Well, where did we leave off, sort of thing?
Where did we leave off? Like, I didn't get your question, sorry.
Or is there anything else that's worth noting before we start today?
No.
Okay. And your objective today is?
General driving again, like perfecting all these areas.
Okay.
So that I don't have to worry about the general driving anymore, and then pay parking. Are we learning?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right then. Yeah, and we'll discuss who's going to do what there when we get to bay parking, I guess. Anything else I can help you with before we start?
No.
Okay, let's get to it. We're on. All right then. So, yeah, drive on when you're ready.
Yeah.
We'll take a right at the end. Try and stay balanced while you're waiting. You did the right thing there. Try and stay balanced while you're waiting. 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 in terms of waiting. So you've got to give way lines here, haven't we, just underneath us. Whereas the end of the road's actually another half a car length forward. If you can see that on the camera, guys. But yeah, stay balanced, because you're ready then, aren't you, for after, you know, after she's crossed, after these have gone. Unless it's for a really prolonged period of time, then obviously you could go handbrake then. But even still, I'd stay at the bite.
Yeah.
I just probably wouldn't be on the gas. Like.
I wasn't sure like how long it's going to take, so.
Okay. Stay optimistic for a bit longer. Steer left a little. Just left a bit more, bit more, bit more, bit more, bit more left. Treat yourself. There you go. That's nice. So why am I asking you to position left more there then? Same again here, just left a bit more. Okay. So we're centre of the road now, yeah? Sorry, we were centre of the road before, now we're centre of the lane.
Okay.
Yeah, so normal driving position. Just keep following the road ahead. What big signs are you looking for to guide you? Yeah. Fantastic. So, how is this better than following the roadworks yesterday then? Which wasn't on the camera, but we discussed it in yesterday's debrief at the end, didn't we?
Now we have more control because of the engine braking and the sharp turns, and because it's very tight.
To get the engine braking, what did you do with your gears once you'd identified quite rightfully the bend?
Drop the gear.
Okay, good.
3 to 2.
That's it. Good. We're going to turn left at the light, Sharon. Okay. Good mirror signal manoeuvre there. And is there any sort of real threat behind, or is it a good distance? Just generally wondering, really.
No, nothing is good.
All right. Has the driver behind turned in with us?
Yep.
You notice what she's doing? Got the lights back there while we were sat there.
I saw that she came not very close, but she came and she was waiting.
Okay. Yeah, just eating. She's eating. Not crime of the century, but could distract her. Yeah. So we're going to turn left. Just to be clear, you shouldn't eat when you're driving. Yeah. Why do you think you shouldn't eat whilst driving?
Or why shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Because we'll not be using both the hands.
That's it. Going to go ahead at the roundabout. Good mirrors there. Good. Any potential threat at that merge that you spotted after you checked? Obviously she went on the inside. Anything else?
Yeah. Nothing.
About that taxi that got close that you saw? Well, it looks like a taxi. It's one of them generic taxi cars, isn't it? I don't think it's a taxi though. But there was something there that got quite close.
Yeah.
A couple of seconds earlier, it'd have been going round in the merge, I reckon. Overtake. braked. What did you see about that generic taxi type car behind us?
Because he didn't recognize that we were going to brake.
Yes. Do you think you needed to brake? Would somebody generally brake going round a roundabout? Usually, do you think?
No.
So try not to brake. Why did you brake? Was it that you was counting your exits or something? Or you was unsure about where to go?
I was sure, but I thought like maybe it is a bit high.
Right, it could be dangerous braking, yeah? Don't brake on roundabouts unless you really need to. Go ahead at this one. That's your second exit. So if you need to slow, just ease off the gas, but you should be okay at this speed. Yeah? So just easing off the gas is the answer, because you don't want somebody in the back of us through us doing something unpredictable. Well, go ahead, second exit here. Check your left, you'll see the Volvo going to the outside of us now. You didn't stick to your lane there. You started in left on approach, and then when you didn't follow the curb left with him, take the second exit here. Second exit. Good stuff there, well done. You certainly followed the curb there, lovely and neat. Safe. Well, we'll have a quick chat when it's convenient, when it's safe and convenient about that lane positioning thing. Yeah. Did you see what I said when I said look at the Volvo? Yeah. Just okay. Good. I'll leave you to this. Let you focus. Okay, so we're going to be on here for about 1 mile now. The exit that we're going to be taking is signposted Derby A6. And if it's an A road, what colour background will it have? Green. Well done. Just to clarify, saying it's not crime of the century, what I mean is there's much worse things a person could do. You still shouldn't eat when you're driving. Disclaimer. Like you said, you're chewing, well you didn't say, but you're chewing gum, aren't you? But it doesn't require using the hands. It actually stimulates your brain. So I think you could have just kept in 6th and just maybe lowered it to around 60ish. Saying that, that's made me think, because on that stretch of road there is no barrier and it's national speed limit, so we're talking single carriageway jobby there, aren't we? So what? So yeah, it should be 60. Go ahead at the roundabout, that's your second exit. hasn't it, so far? Roundabout's gone really well, apart from us not following the lane on that one. But we'll talk about that in a sec when we stop. Probably talk about it now because we're doing 40 along here, there's not much going on. Got the road to myself more or less. So were you aware what you did? Go on then, tell me what you did. That roundabout that we're talking about.
Instead of following the curve, I diverted from the left-hand side lane a little bit and went into the center.
That's it.
While there was a car coming in the inside lane, so caused there.
Yeah, and what you wanted to do in the new road was land in the left-hand lane, weren't it? So what could have happened was that silver Volvo could have sped up, got on the inside, then we want to land in the left. Oops, where did you come from? And then they would turn around and say, well, I thought you was going somewhere else, you went in the middle lane. Well, you know, I think, yeah, so what will you do in future to try and be better in those scenarios?
On the roundabouts, should always follow the curve. If you are taking the first exit or second exit.
Yeah. And if the roundabout doesn't want you to follow a curve and it wants to move you, what type of roundabout will that be?
It will be spiral.
Yeah. And how would you know it spirals? What would you see?
The lane in front of us will split into 2 or 3.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, over back to you. Are you alright with that now? Do you want any help with those sort of things? Or just keep me eyeing it? I think you're going to go wrong, let you know.
Yeah, if something's going wrong.
For the direction we're going, we'll need the right-hand lane when it's safe to. Centre coming into this little stretch up here, because I saw you check your door mirror, but before we check that, we want to know what's behind us, because before it goes at the side of us, it's going to come from behind. Plus this is a true image. Good observations you're having, it's working really well, isn't it? You're looking just sharp enough, you know.
Yeah.
So when you've been doing high speeds for a long time, what do you need to be aware of when you come back on residential streets like this?
Get my speedometer.
Okay. So what speed were you doing? Were you aware? That's it. So what would that do to your stopping distance on an area that's got increased risk of a child running out, or a car pulling out, or a pedestrian stepping off, or whatever? Lights changing.
Stopping distance.
That's it, yeah. Now then, I'd love you to take take the next road on the right, please. And then right at the end of the next one, please. Right, not left, right. No worries. Why do you think you did that? Any ideas or no idea?
Yeah, I was confused.
Okay. Do you feel that went better than yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Could you place a reason why?
Because I think I'm familiar with it. Like, I know, like, okay, there are two roads. The first one is what you have to take for right, and I was looking for the exit as well, where it is.
Where it leads to, yeah. Because then you know the box is going to be opposite. Along this road then, Sharon, I'd like you to pull up on the right hand side, please. Good stuff. Do you reckon the Mini was ever affected by you pulling up on this right? The Mini?
No.
No, never. Too far away.
Mm-hmm.
Anything behind that was going to benefit? No. And that guy's there. Just, I don't know what he's doing really, but yeah. All right, so drive on when you're ready, I guess. There's nothing. That was all.
Okay.
You all right with that? That was all okay there. I don't think it hurts to give a signal, to be honest, to come across to the right, just because it takes longer and things could start developing around us. Okay, good. Okay, don't brake for these. You go over these about 20. Yeah, just let the car just drive on. If we brake, cars behind me, I don't expect that. It'll be something that would be classed, I think, as irregular. So if I was travelling behind a car, I would not expect them to brake for this whatsoever. Back on the gas, a bit quicker. So what are speed bumps for?
To reduce speed.
That's it. So the speed limit is
30 on this one.
and we went over the last one at.
There it's 30 as well. But actually, we like on that I was doing some 12.
It was the first time when you was braking. We were doing 20 that time, but 18, 20, and that's much better. Of course, the more experience you get, you'll build up an understanding of what different types of speed bumps look like and how you should. If it's the Asda ones or any supermarket, generally they're really short, sharp, stumpy ones. You want first gear on them because it feels like
It's a big burden.
yeah, it feels like it's damaging the car quite a lot on them small ones. So speed bumps are to slow you down. So. And that's what it did. Stopped us doing 30, didn't it?
Yeah.
But we don't need to be too over the top, if you like. So we're going to take the next road on the left. Roundabout, we'll go ahead. That's first exit. It's first exit. How early could you signal? Could you approach with a signal on?
Yeah.
Because there's cars parked on that roundabout, you just have to be a bit mindful of if there was anybody in the car that thought you was parking behind. first exit. It can help traffic out, keep them moving, for example. The reverse back to car lengths, we did that yesterday, didn't we?
Yeah.
So of course we're going to ask you to do it for the purposes of the test, but there's no point in us reversing back to car lengths there, unless we want to like go over the skill of doing that. But I don't know, I feel fairly okay about that.
Yeah.
In terms of you, do you feel okay with it not reversing back the 2 car lengths? Well, we can always, you know, just don't feel like we need to do it every time, that's all. At the end of the road, turn right, please. Once you've turned right, look for a safe place to pull in on the left. Don't rush though. Good. Nice one. Is there something we said? No, we've gone over everything, haven't we? We've covered everything. How do you feel it's going?
It's going on well. I think I'm okay with the mirror checks now.
Yeah. I think it's the best yet. Do you? There's been times where, well, a lot of times I've just sat back and not had to say a lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can't help myself and just can't keep my mouth shut, can I? But there you go.
Yeah.
But now you're doing really, really well, because I'll just be completely quiet. But no, are you alright with everything then?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pleased with the progress.
Thank you.
It's like you say, less thinking about the actual driving and just doing it.
Yeah.
It's just more, just keep your eye on them lanes of our roundabouts. But anyway, we'll get to the bottom. I want you to turn right. Do you remember our conversation yesterday on the format here and what visibility is going to be like?
At the Y junction.
That's it, Y junction, yes.
Yeah, it will not be for the cars coming in. It will not be very clear. So
say that again. For the cars coming in. Because I'm going to ask you to emerge right at the end.
Okay.
Yeah. So, what's your visibility going to be like at a Y-shaped junction?
If we come like this, and if we are taking the right turn, we'll be facing this direction. But we can like try to, we can go there and steer in to make it a T junction, so that we can.
Oof. Yeah, good way to knacker your tyres up that and everything else, and your alloy wheels. You're not careful. Don't know why they had to park on the pavement, to be honest. But there you go. That's a story for another day. Yeah, so if you make that into a T, now what I would say to you is I don't know if we've looked at these in loads of depth before. I know we chatted about it yesterday because of an error.
Yep.
As you approach, be slow as you get to the giveaway lines and keep scanning right, left, right, left, right, left. Don't forget forwards in the meantime. Right, forward, left, left, forward, right, right, forward, left. Because you're going to know then how much steer to put on so that you can see past me, so that you can't just see my head, this headrest, that pillar. Yeah? Because if you just put a bit of steer on, you'll look and think, oh, I still can't really see. Okay?
Yeah.
Oh, that's my words of advice for you. Does that all make sense? Do you want any help? Or do you want to give it a go?
I would like to give it a go.
Okie dokie. That's what we'll do. When you're ready, we'll get going. That's one of the best I've seen in many months. There, well done. Fantastic. Now with all the excitement, you might forget your gear. So you don't want to stall on this busy road, do we? Halfway across, yeah? So your visibility is what? Excellent, good, rubbish?
Good.
Yeah. Glad you went back on that foot brake immediately. Why was that so important then? Yeah. Back in a day, she might be able to jump out of the way, but I doubt it. Not in 2017, anyway. What do you reckon? You reckon we could have gone then?
This road is clear.
Yeah. Do you reckon we could have gone before the discovery? Set your gas before the gap's there. So gas on, and we could have gone in that one. Still can. Ooh. That bit of hesitation. Okay, so foot down, keep it down, keep it down. You want to keep your foot down for longer before changing gear. That gear change is a clutch down and a disconnection of the drive, which takes longer, therefore the Peugeot gains on us.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to work on being more authoritative and pulling out on roads like this. A busy time of day, if you're not careful, you'll be there for 20 minutes if you're not careful. Of course, then we need to be able to pull out and not interrupt traffic. Would you agree it was just that little bit of hesitation that?
Yeah, it was. I wasn't sure if I should or should have waited for the car.
I've got some good tips to help you with that, and we'll look at that later. So let's take the next road on the right into the pub car park there. Just stop, nothing behind us. Stop. This is the road on the right into the pub car park.
I was looking at that.
Yeah. So arguably my fault for giving you late instruction. Okay, keep it nice and slow here, Sharon. Nice and slow, clutch down. Look right and left. We're going to go to the right. Anything coming through the car park before we turn right? No? Okay. Most people don't take enough care at car parks and would drive straight through without even looking left there.
Yeah.
So I'm very keen to get you thinking about the right stuff. Now, the place we're going to practice the Bay Park, you see where that big tree is in front of us?
Yeah.
You see where the junction is just in front of that, where the curbs are? Just have a look so you know where you're driving to through the gap. We're going to drive into that junction and then we're going to practice the parking. What we'll do, I think we'll drive in forwards first, if that's okay, just because it's most convenient at this point.
Yeah.
Nothing behind us, yeah? Okay, just stop there then. Alright, I've found a good one here. Used this quite a few times now, and it's always really quiet.
Great.
It's a dead end, there's only one way in and one way out, which is where we've just come, so I don't think it's even cameraed, so I wouldn't imagine any staff come round from the hotel and say, oh, you shouldn't be here or whatever, which is good. But there is the possibility of a car turning in. They could have deliveries that they come around the back of the hotel.
Might be, yeah.
So yeah, keep that in mind. Yeah, so just tell me a little bit more about that junction and getting gone then. That Y junction.
There was a time where there was some space for me to get in, but I missed it. And then I saw this silver car coming from the left hand side. There is still space, but I hesitated because maybe I misjudged the speed of the car. I'm not sure. I was thinking maybe it will come, and at some point I thought, okay, it's not coming, it's not very quick, maybe I can go. But then again I thought maybe in this time it could have moved. So bit of hesitation there.
I get that. I mean, that silver Peugeot that was coming down also is coming downhill towards us, so it could pick up speed very quickly. But I do think, I mean, tell me if you disagree, there was time there. What you're not doing, and I think I've said this to you before, when you're waiting and there's gaps that could be developing, do you know what I'm going to say? Have I said it to you before? What you could be doing to help yourself to prepare and feel more confident to take the gap.
I think so.
if you're ready with the gear on and then ready to if we have the bite point and everything ready, then the moment we see a gap we can just get into that quickly.
You want to move off quick, so all that's important, but one thing you haven't said, which is what's at the tip of my tongue, and I think this is the decider, the gas. You know, we're going to have a nice clean smooth takeoff and get somewhere quick. The gas has got to be on and we've got to know it's on, so that we've got that to fall back on, meaning we can just be that bit quicker with the clutch than we usually would be.
Yeah.
At the moment, you're not setting your gas until the gap's already there. By the time you've set the gas and then get that confidence from having the gas and the bite and just release, the gap's kind of fizzling away, the chance is gone. So we need to think, oh, there's 2 cars coming, I'm not going to pull out yet. After the 2 cars that are coming, I'm going to go. So while I'm waiting, hand on handbrake, right hand steering wheel, gas on, bite point, cars are just passing, handbrake off, keep the gas where it is, and away we go. That's gonna make the difference. Same with roundabout anticipation. Prepare when you see the gap developing, coming towards you, not when it's already
there
at you. Yeah. And I can help you with that. Let's just have a look at how you'd want to set that gas, just while we're stationary here. So you'd be on the brake probably. So get your right foot there, and then you'd be having a look. You'd just gone into first, and then you'd be gas on, and set that for me, nice and quick with authority. Gas on. I think that's a bit of the problem, is getting onto the gas really quite slowly. So that needle's rising slow.
I don't want to hurt the car.
Yeah, this is it. Now this is what I want to train you to think the other way around, because the revs are there to be revved.
Yeah, I do.
I've got a GTI, so you can rev it a bit louder. No, I'm joking. So yeah, I mean, it would be about that noise, but it needs to be set instant, and that would be a bit much. So it's finding that middle ground. So let that rev needle drop back to idle like it would be. Just have your right foot hovering it, and revs on, set. That'd be a bit high, so let that needle drop back to its default position, tick over about 800 revs. There, I knew you'd get it. It just takes a bit of there, yeah, perfect. And if you keep that and hold that, when that gap comes, you're going to be more inclined to get that handbrake off and start the car moving and take the gap. What do you reckon? Alright, I'll remind you. Well, do you want me to? Sorry, what you say?
That was a useful tip.
Do you want me to help you in any way with that, or do you think that'll be enough for you to carry in your mind and apply? What do you reckon?
Maybe when we go out of this junction, I'll try to use it. And see.
The other side is, if you set those revs like that, and then for whatever reason it was actually we were not going to go, because it doesn't mean we're definitely going to go. You wouldn't sit there longer than 6 or so seconds, just rough figure that is, with the revs like that. Why do you think you wouldn't do that?
Because we are at the bite point, and if we are not going to go, maybe I'll release the accelerator, because we're just wasting the fuel.
You're wasting the fuel, aren't you? If you're at the bite point, that power is going to start to burn the clutch plates.
Yeah, that's true.
So yes, it's wasting fuel, and also we don't want to burn the clutch or wear the clutch. So it's alright if it's set for a short period of time. Obviously I've got to get set up or anything. So what I normally do in that situation is I keep my bike where it is, left foot doesn't move, it stays froze, the right foot comes off. And then when I see the next gap, keyword, developing, not already developed, developing, gas on. Have a look, keep looking, I'm going to go, oh I'm not going to go, gas off, the clutch stay the same. Alright, you get the picture?
Yeah, got it.
Alright. Any questions, or are you good to move on?
No questions.
Bay Park then?
Yeah.
What do you already know about the Bay Park?
Not very much.
Do you want me to tell you what you need to know in terms of the test?
The driving test wise, I think I know like they will ask us either to turn into the park and then reverse back,
Yep.
or it can be the other side, like reverse back into the bay and then drive out.
That's it. So the way they're doing it now is they're going to reverse in. If you do it at the test centre at the beginning or the end of the driving test, it'll be reversing into a bay. If you do it mid-test, it'll be driving into a bay forwards and then stopping and then reversing back out.
Yeah.
All right, and that'll be done in a public car park. They're using as in Derby. They're using, as far as I'm aware, Springwood Leisure Centre at the moment. Could be using more. They might change it. I don't know. All right, so that's what you need to know. And also, you might cross the when driving in forwards. The inevitable is you're going to cross the line slightly, the very end of the lines, maybe a bit of the other bay with the right tyre. So there's the line, and your tyres will just go over like this sort of thing. It has to happen.
Okay.
But what's important to know is that you can do that slightly if it's the edges and the ends, as long as you don't drive over the other bay to get into one. You can land slightly crooked in the bay, that would be okay, as long as you're in the bay, and as long as you're not hanging out of the bay.
Okay.
All right, but ideally we'll be parallel in the bay with with an equal gap either side. That's the best case scenario. But if it's nearly right but it's just off, my advice to you is don't fuss around trying to make it perfect, because you could open a tin of worms, if you like. Is that the right way of saying it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So what would you like? Would you like me to talk you through? Would you like me to demonstrate? Do you want to just give it a go and we can analyse it afterwards? What do you want to do?
Demonstrate.
You want me to demonstrate it? So you want to swap over, yeah?
Yep.
Alright. Absolutely fine. Gonna drop this seat down.
Yep.
Clutch test. That's good. Mirror, just move it up slightly. Door mirrors are okay. Alright then, so I'm going to use basically there's two reference points. We're going to do the forwards one first. The forwards one is if you see one of those white lines there. If I turn when one of those white lines is about level with your shoulders,
Okay. So
the headrest, the seat, yeah, about the midway point of the car-ish.
Okay.
So that's the reference pulling in forwards. Just to, if you watched the video on Bay Park,
I think I did, but it's been a long time.
so all right. So there's something. I guess it's just trying to get that information back to the surface from when you watch the video. Because I was going to say, like, I don't want to teach you to suck eggs. If there's any bits you know, let me know.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. So what's really important is, you know how we're this side of the car park. You can choose whether you do a right or left on the driving test. We're this side, so there's us, and you've got a car's width here, and then there's the end of the bays.
Yeah.
This car's width is really important, or else if you're here and the bays are there, you're going to drive
just into them. Yeah.
You're going to cut them all, aren't you, to get into it? So this car's width is really important. So what I do, if you drive into a public car park, I'd slow it down. What gear do you think is going to be good for a car park?
First gear.
First gear, and you just be using clutch control. Yeah. So I'll check all around now.
Yeah.
I've got my car's width. I'm going to do one on the left. I'm just going to move this up a bit. And so I'm going to use that line there.
Yep.
We'll check the left door mirror about now. Another shoulder check just there. Clutch in, let it roll. Another bit of clutch control. Clutch in, let it roll. Right hand's here now, ready to start to take off the steer, but not yet. If I look in the right door mirror, can't see the paint yet, can't see the paint there. But I'm going to go a little bit further forward, I should be able to see something then. Steer back on and straighten up about now. About there. Now to stop, the curb should appear under my door mirror. Clutch down, let it roll, squeeze brake there. So there's the door mirror, there's the object of the door mirror, and there's the curb line underneath.
Yeah.
That's how I know my bonnet's level but not over. Handbrake neutral. Let's have a look at the damage.
I think it's perfect. We have space here. Yeah.
That'll be perfect
It's
there as well.
balanced, yeah.
So try and steer about the same speed as you're travelling is good advice when manoeuvring. And have you done any manoeuvring before at all? Yeah? Where were you looking when you were reversing? Because that's the next thing I'm going to do.
Behind
That's it.
the way in the direction in which go.
Good, so over my left shoulder.
Yep.
You notice I stop with my tyres straight. That's really important because when I reverse back, if I've got steer on, I could have steer on, look. It'd be very deceiving. So you see I was rolling forward really slowly and gentle. I knew I was straight because I wasn't veering off.
Yep.
So back to straight. Now when I'm reversing backwards, what's important in terms of my steering, do you think?
We want to keep it straight until half of the car is back.
Good, yeah.
Mostly when there are cars parked the other side of the...
You've got it. So I'm going to check around. Keep the steering wheel straight. Looking where I'm going. Nothing coming right shoulder. Looking where I'm going. Keep it straight. Tell me when I'm halfway. Yeah, okay, so shoulder check. Start to gently steer. And now the other bit in terms of test that I need you to know is that you can't go into the other bay when you're reversing out. Also, when you're driving forwards, don't use this bay to get into the one opposite. There isn't one today, but you know sometimes bays back onto each other and you get like a double bay. So looking over the right shoulder here, there. Stop about there and the back end's level.
Okay.
Reverse to first. Check around again, nothing coming. And away we go. So that's driving in forwards. Do you want to go at driving in forwards and then if you want me to, I can demonstrate the reverse one as well, or do you want me to demonstrate both now?
I would like to go and try the reverse, drive into the bay.
Okay, that's fine. Do you want to, well, I guess we could use down there, couldn't we, to be honest? I'll just reverse you back a little bit and get a bit more of a, ready for your turn? Okay. I'll swap over then. Does that all that make sense? Yeah. What's visibility like at that back screen? It's quite salty on the roads today. Any distractions?
Not much, I think it's okay.
It's clear as it...
But we can just wipe it once.
Yeah, because there's quite a lot of white sort of smears on there.
Yep.
So we don't want any distractions there, particularly because we're reversing, manoeuvring. We're going to be looking out there. So, yeah, do you know how to do it?
I know this, but the rear I'm not sure.
The rear, it's the same stick as you use for the front. You just twist the end 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Hold it, give it another one. That's it, and turn it all back off now. Job done. So you see the difference?
Yep.
That's it. Done. So, do you want me to help you with this park, or from the demonstration, do you want to give it a go yourself? What's going to be best for you, Sharon?
I think I can do it, but I need your help to identify the first line if we are aligned.
Point to turn.
Point of turn.
Okay.
And then I can, yeah.
For this manoeuvre then, shall we stop at the point of turn, or be nearly stopped? So we can take time to say, right Sharon, look there, imagine this, or remember how this looks, and then next time you can use, so you can visualise that reference point, so you so you're working from the same basis every time.
Okay.
So that's what we'll do, yeah? So you want me to help you with that bit?
Yes.
The rest leave you to? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Absolutely fine. So should we use over there?
Yep.
Yeah. All the setup good, yeah? Mirrors, headrest, restraint. So what width do you need between the end of these bays and the side of this car if you're doing a left?
Cars.
You've got it.
Yeah.
So slow down here and bring us to a near stop. Stop there. Just squeeze on the or hold us still via the holding biting point. Just hold us still. Right, okay. That line there, where does that line appear? Tell me to stop with my hand. From your seat, where does it stop? Where does it appear?
There.
There.
Little bit front.
There?
Little back. Yeah, there. Exactly. Yeah.
Right. That's your reference point for when we're reversing.
Okay.
Forget that for the moment. I'll remind you that in a bit. When that line is here, level with me or level with my headrest seat, depends. Look, it's variable because the seat can move. I want you to stop the car then.
Okay.
All right. So just move us to. So that line appears where I've just said.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's where you would steer in, and you would end. If you steered on that line, you would end up in that bay.
Okay.
However, this seems a little late. If you just pop the clutch inwards and come off the brake, nothing behind us, is there?
Nothing.
Just let it roll backwards. I know it's got the reverse lights on, but it's dead as a dodo around here. Stop there. Where does that appear now?
Little bit front here.
Right level with me?
Not level with you, but
Right here.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's, I think, more somewhere around there would be where we would steer to get into the next bay.
Okay.
So basically, if you choose a line, any line you want, that's going to be, so that would be line 1. You can end up between line 2 and line 3. So point of turn line 1, 2, between 2 and 3. That one there.
Yep.
But you can use any one of these, whichever one you want, and it's going to be the same. So don't worry about, oh, I've chose a line, I must use that line. You're just lining up the same points.
Okay. Understand.
So now that I've gone through that with you, do you want me to help you to identify it live on the move, or do you want to give it a go?
I want to give it a move. Sorry, I want to try it.
Okay, I'll leave you with it then, yeah? So remember all the obs as well as the accuracy part and the control, so over to you.
So I'm going to use the same line.
Okay. So what do you think?
Didn't do it.
I made you move backwards, didn't I? Forwards. Backwards.
A little bit.
When we was forwards, it was at the right place.
Okay.
But another thing is, if the timing's slightly off, what you have to do, just put the handbrake on, just so, because we're now next to that brick wall, so the risk is much greater if we do bounce forward of damaging the car. Yeah, it was pretty decent where it was actually. So let's try it where it was.
Okay.
Also, if you feel that you're going to be a little bit this way or a little bit that way, take some steering off.
Straighten it off.
Right, you've got a full lock on, so you can't put more steering on, you can only take some off. So if you felt you was going too much into the bay that way, you'd take some off basically, and then you'd put it back on. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So should we give it another go? So you can do the reversing bit now.
Yeah.
Because you're aware you're over the lines, yeah? Oh, would you steer straight away?
No.
That's it. Why not? Pretend there's a car either side. That's it. We'll stay over this bit because they're using that down there. You see that curb behind you?
Yeah.
Get that right in the bottom corner. Ignore the sensors. Get that curb right in the bottom corner and don't stop till it's there. See how much more room you had? That means your back end's quite level or nearly level with the curb, but not going to hit it if it was a wall or a fence. Also, if there was cars in this bay, you've come out further, so you'd be able to maybe get gone without having to do, you know, a series of manoeuvres.
Straight. We want to aim for this line and then go into that.
So you're going a bit earlier than last time, or a bit later? Do you reckon you're going to go over the top with this left tyre? Steer right, steer right, steer right, more, and back left. There. Now that brings that tyre more this way. You got more than you think there. Just be real steady. Okay. You're in, aren't you? But crooked. Yeah. So what you should have done? Do you know what you should have done to make it straight?
To instead of releasing it a bit early, I should have kept it.
That's it. Just a little bit longer. But you're probably wary of the wall.
Yeah.
So I'll show you. Look, you could have gone a little bit further forward. Just come off the brakes. We're going to edge forward a little bit. I'm going to show you how much further forward you could have gone. Looks very close at the moment, doesn't it? A bit further. Be real steady. No jerkiness. I've got the pedals anyway, so don't worry.
Yeah.
I'm not pressing them, but a bit more, 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 bit more. Bit more, 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 bit more. There. Alright? You should be able to see. Just secure the car before you forget. I'm not saying you would, but you might. You should be able to see the bottom, again, using them door mirror references. So there's the door mirror, and you know the bottom of that building. I know it's covered by the leaves, but the bottom of those bricks as they meet the tarmac, right?
Yeah.
Should be at the bottom of your mirror. And is that about right? Is that about?
Yeah, it's about that.
So you need to use those a bit more when you're coming in. Just see how far forward you can go.
Okay.
Anyway, how did you find the manoeuvre? How are you finding the manoeuvre coming in forwards?
Yeah, if we get the point of turn right, I think it's fairly easy.
So what we're saying, a bit later than what we've been doing, or a bit earlier?
A bit early.
It's a bit early at the moment.
Yeah.
So what are we going to do differently to make it go in without with less potentials for it to be not as accurate as we want?
Do it a bit later.
You've got it.
A little bit.
Just a little bit. If you do go early for whatever reason, do you feel that you've now got a tool that you could use to correct it? What did we do that time? Well, I guided you to do it. I said I weren't going to, but I thought it was beneficial at the time.
Yeah. To like unlock.
Yeah.
To the right and then
yeah.
Go forwards and then turn right again.
You've got it.
Sorry,
You've got it.
Left, yeah.
Okay, so if we reverse out, looking in this mirror, is the back tyre going to go over the paint, or should we be good if we keep the steering wheel straight?
I think it will go on the paint.
I don't think so. If you look at where the tyre is, if that tyre stays straight and travels in a straight line, if you look at the end of the bay, it can't go over really.
Okay.
Because you're not going to steer straight away, are you?
I think we can just...
Yeah?
Yep.
Alright then. So when are you going to steer when you reverse out, just in case there was a cars next to you?
If there's a car next to me, like I would go straight without doing any steering. Yeah.
That's it. Just reminding you, because you started steering a bit early last time. I think it was last time. Anything you want me to help you with? Or do you want to give it another go? Or are you getting bored? Do you want to come back to it tomorrow? Or do you want to move on to the reverse bit? Or do you want to keep doing?
We can try the reverse bit.
Okay. So what we'll do, oh yeah, you reverse out of here first, and then you said you wanted me to demo it, didn't you?
Yeah.
Do you still want that? Yeah, alright. So reverse out when you're ready, and of course when it's safe. It's better with the steering. So try and look over this corner this time, because it's that back corner that would hit the curb first now. Sometimes you can use that mirror as well and look down there to look where the back of the tyre, the black of the back tyre is. Shall we use that bit over there? It's a bit sunnier over there.
Yeah.
Bring it to a pause there. Are you okay with what we just did? Any issues? Anything you want to go over?
No.
Apart from what we already have?
No.
So, just to recap, to secure the car for us. Just to recap, why am I asking you to secure the car there, by the way? Why not just sit with clutch down and in first? And
maybe we are not going to move for quite some time. Yeah.
Could just, when we get in conversation, you can forget, can't you? You can forget what you're doing and then could jerk forward. Always a prominent one at drive-throughs. But anyway, what was I saying?
Reversing into the bay.
Yeah, what else was it? Just what are the bits that you will be aware of that you need to work on next time whenever you want to come back to driving in forwards, just to recap?
I'll try to do the, I'll move the point of turn a bit later.
Yeah.
Little bit. I think that will help.
And the point of turn is what? Just so I know it's in your mind.
To your straight of the shoulder. To your shoulder.
Yeah. Something like that. The head restraint.
I think it's more to do like this position as well. Maybe it might change a little bit here and there, so it's somewhere between there.
That's it. And bays can be different widths as well. That's a really common one. Sometimes one bay line might be dead straight and the other bay line might be like it was done on a Monday morning or a Friday afternoon. So, you know, it can be misleading sometimes, but it's just getting it's like using a sat-nav, just getting a general understanding as to the differences and how to deal with it, you know. Alright, so are you happy with that?
Yep.
Should we swap over? Still want a demo? Sure?
Yep.
Mirrors are good. Head restraint, yeah, good. So I'm gonna same again. If you're gonna reverse, and you can choose right or left. It'll probably be from the test centre when you do this, at the beginning or the end of your driving test. So I'm gonna do a park to the left.
Okay.
Always note as well that car parks have camber. It looks like the car park slopes downwards, but also it could slope backwards over there. So as I come into the bay, I could pick up a bit of roll speed. So always try and be aware of that before you start. So if I'm doing one to the left, then I need how much width? A car's width between the end of those lines and the side of this car. So I reckon that's good. Do you?
Yeah.
Now, of course, if there's cars in these bays, I would have to think twice about that. And I'd be more this way, but you know, use common sense and do what you can. So handbrake, reverse, giving a signal with a reverse light. If there's cars follow you into the car park, straight away they're going to sort of know what your intentions are.
Okay.
So yeah, we're good there. I'm going to set my left door mirror so it's facing down. not all the way, but most of the way. Checking around. I'm going to use the next line. So this time, not when it's level with sort of your shoulders or the head restraint. This time, it's when it's level with the halfway point of the door. I'm going to lock a full left lock this time. So we're doing a left park, yeah. So check all around, nothing coming in through there, and we're good. And nothing behind. So keeping the steering wheel straight until I get to that point. Nearly there. So I'm going to check the shoulder. Back to what I'm doing. Full left lock on. That's done. So I needed to check the shoulder because I'm swinging outwards here. Look, could be danger overtaking. So I want to check my blind spot. And then in that door mirror that I set down, do you see the turning circle there?
Yeah.
Do you see that I'm sort of going to end up quite nicely in those in that bay? Still clear right shoulder, clear direction of travel. Now, if I keep the lock on, I'm going to be a bit, so what I'm going to do, half 1 hour.
Okay.
Clear all around still. So there's still half an hour steer on, because the full lock is an hour and a half. Now, I can see that side, full lock, back on. Clear behind, clear in front, all around, keeping up to date. And that's going to become parallel in a minute, bodywork and white paint. Also, I can sort of see and feel whether I'm straight by looking forwards, because the car park's square.
Yeah.
So I reckon about there, half hour and a half off. That's parallel.
Yeah.
Well, it is now there. You see, because that line's off, and that's why one looks parallel and one doesn't. Then looking where I'm going, and then just before the end, Sharon, you can look over in this corner, and you see it's that same reference again with, I don't know, it's because of the it's the grass there, just in case anybody's wondering about the sensors. There's nothing to worry about. So my front end isn't sticking out because I'm using the curb reference, and it's in this bottom apex of the door. Can you see that?
Yeah.
So I'm closer to that line than I am to this line, and I had to take some off. So what should I have done with my steering timing? Steered earlier or later from the point of turn?
It was more, so a bit later.
You got it. So just like you're doing yours there, you're thinking, well, next time, you know. And other factors, so that's what you'd do. Other factors that can throw it out is the speed you're travelling at when you get to the point of turn, and then the speed that you steer at when you get to the point of turn. So all these in conjunction with each other can affect the end outcome. So it's just trying to be consistent with speed, consistent with steering speed, and trying to turn at the same point, whatever point that is. Yeah? Any questions?
No.
Let's swap over. So same again, do you want me to give you any help, or do you want to give it a go?
I think I was right.
Give it a go?
Right,
yeah. Just remind me what the point of turn is before we start on this reverse one.
Somewhere in the centre of the door.
Yeah, okay, good. And how much steer will you be doing?
Full left lock if you're moving into left side.
And what shoulder will you be checking?
We'll be looking into this left or shoulder, but just moving before we turn, we look at the right hand side.
Good, good. So over to you, I'll leave it with you. In the right blind spot there. Just leaning over, yeah. Do check all around, particularly at car parks, because people walk through other cars. I know it's some, well, there's a staff exit for Aldi there, they could walk across, but you know what I'm trying to say? We're from worst case scenario in busy car parks. So do check all around. 360. It's sunny.
It is.
Be moaning if it was raining. Moaning if it's sunny. Love moaning. Ask my wife.
So do you think I still have the car width of distance?
I
from
do.
the park?
I think that's a good width there. Could easily fit a car there. It's rough anyway. If you're slightly inside of it, don't worry. If you're slightly bigger than it, don't worry, even better. Just stop there. When you've changed direction and you started going backwards, you've not really looked around before you've started manoeuvring to see if there's any developing hazards around you. There could be something coming out of the park behind us, jump the fence. There used to be a walkway there, I think, years ago.
Yeah.
Coming out the back of the hotel, could be staff coming out, all sorts.
Yeah.
So a 360 check and then start reversing. That's it. We're ironing out any possibility then that way. Good, yeah, nice one. Well done, you've recognised it then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look forwards as well to get a better. Yeah. How did you feel that went?
This is much easier compared to driving into it.
Yeah?
Yeah. What do you think?
I think I've just seen another robin over there. There's 3 birds over there, look. Just saw another
Yeah.
robin. I saw one on the first lesson as well.
Oh, that's nice.
So I think that's a good sign.
Good.
Nice, aren't they, robins?
Yeah.
I think the parking went really well. I mean, I wouldn't believe you'd never reversed into a bay before.
I think with my previous instructor, I think I did it once, but it was like ages away. Maybe I think that's still with me. But anyway, yeah, this was not the method which we were doing. It was different.
Was it? Do you find the method easy to remember, easy to follow?
Not quite well. I don't even remember that was it.
Do you want to make any notes?
But this is much easier, yeah, because the reference point is very clear. Like,
Oh, so you do know the reference point?
no, the one which you mentioned.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is clear. The one
This
with the
is
other
clear.
instructor wasn't. So he's
Exactly,
okay.
yeah.
Got you. Got you. Good. So if you're, I mean, the next thing you do is just drive out.
Yeah.
What wouldn't you do if there was a car either side of you? Remember, we're going to do the same because we're doing worst case scenario. So we'll pretend there's a car either side of us. What wouldn't you do? Too soon, too early.
Don't stay until half of the car is out of the bay, like the front
Yeah.
cars at least.
Yeah.
Front tires.
That's it. And then when you do steer, as you're turning, if there was a car there, you can check your left mirror to see how the back is doing in relation to just turning around.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be your back bumper and its front bumper
Yeah.
as you come out past. Good. So anything you want to go over there? I'm very, very happy with that.
Thank you.
Do you want to do any more, or do you want to head back? Do you want to sort of leave that for today? What do you want to do?
I think we can leave it here for
Okay.
today and then practice it tomorrow.
Yeah, sounds good to me. On the way back, what are you going to be prioritising or sort of looking out for with your driving on the drive back?
At the junctions, I want to implement the idea which gave like press the gas pedal and be ready for that gap to develop, and as soon as we find it, just
Okay.
get into it.
Good, yeah, that sounds like a good one. If you're not doing it when I think you should, do you want me to let you know?
Yeah.
Okay. Drive on when you're ready. Good to using the right amount of care there. Probably would give a signal as well, you know, because there could be people in these cars that we don't see, yet they're looking around, looking whether to reverse out or not. So what colour lights would we be looking for here?
Red lights,
What colour is reverse light?
white.
Yeah, be aware as well that some cars only have one reverse light and it might be on the other side, so you don't see it, or their reverse lights might be out. Following it for the exit. Any pedestrians coming on the pavement before we proceed?
No.
Okay. Going to be turning left. What's the curb look like? Sharp? Gradual?
Sharp. Please sharp.
Set your revs in advance. Revs on. Revs. Look left. That's it. So that's why I got you to identify the curb,
Yeah.
because you felt the back tyre hit it then. Because if it's a sharp one, we need to be really conscious about how we steer there. Do you know what you needed to do differently?
Release off the steering a bit.
Sorry?
Release off the steering a bit, like
Yeah.
instead of completely locking it.
Yeah, that's it. And as a result of that, you would get the majority of your steer on that bit later. You would travel further out first. So there's the corner. You travel further outwards before you put the majority of the lock on. You need a lock because you don't want to swing into the side of the road.
Yeah.
The other thing is, you have back tire to hit the curb on the way through. It could be somebody's toes, couldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Can I stop somewhere to adjust my seat? I think it's not in the correct position.
Yeah, pull up at a safe place on the left. No rush though. You happy with this?
Yeah.
Yeah? Is it convenient, do you think?
Except for this driving.
Yeah. I know we're only going to be a minute, aren't we? But I do want you to be thinking about that, even if we're just pulling up for a little bit, just getting that, you know, that thought process is in place, because I'm sure we could have stopped just the same and not blocked a driveway.
Yeah.
So what didn't you do back at the car park that would have alerted you to the fact that you'd not set up correctly? You don't really want to do that, do you? You don't want to leave it till you drive and then realise your seat's not right.
Yeah.
What didn't you do back at the car park?
At the car park, I felt like I was okay with it, but when I actually started driving, and then
It's after I did the demo, isn't it? Because I moved the
Yeah.
seat. Right, when you jump into the car, just bring your feet off the pedals for me. Nice one, yeah, and that. When you jump in, first thing you want to do is a clutch test. You notice when I set my seat, when we set up, I do it so I know I can reach the pedals in case I need to help you. So, you know, and you just be clutch up, clutch down. Does that feel right? Yeah. If that feels good, then start with your mirrors. But do that every time, especially if we swap over for a demo.
okay.
Alright. Drive on when you're ready. Bit more revs, bit more. Again, just practicing that skill, getting it on quicker, getting it sort of not gradually on, but on. And that's going to serve you well at your roundabout, your busy junctions, busy times of day, etc. At the roundabout, let's turn right. That's your third exit. Be on here for about a mile. Thank you. Two-thirds of a mile remaining. Coming off at Ring Road West. It's west with a W. Left on this road then? It was two-thirds of a mile back there. Okay. Okay. Why do you think I asked you that? No? Because we're looking for a certain marker for the signal, aren't we? What's that? That's it. Just because you was getting close to the black car, I didn't know whether you thought you needed to get closer or whether you was going to think about overtaking. Because at the moment, let's count for that lamppost, only a fool breaks the 2-second rule, so we're not 2 seconds behind at the moment between us and the vehicle in front. Remember, 2 seconds at minimum as well, don't have to be right on it. We're about 1 2/3 seconds behind it. Now obviously that's going to be bigger, so just count for me on the next marker. You can say either on here full, or do you want me to do it? So you can use the shadow actually. The shadow lines up perfectly, look, with the lamppost. Real straight edge. Or you can count. Anyway, let you focus. We're going to go ahead, second exit at the roundabout. Behind that car at the moment. 1, 2, 3. About 3 1/3 seconds there or something between us and the black one. Do you know how I'm doing that? What we talked about before. So I want you to be more conscious of that. It's the first time I see you do it today, but obviously the faster the speed, the greater the risk. We do have to stop. There's more speed to get rid of, so we really don't want to be too close. The 2-second rule, by the way, comes into force at anything 40 mile an hour or above, just to be absolutely clear with you. Yeah? It's not a 2-second rule if you're travelling at 5 mile an hour. So you just have to use reasonable judgment with that. Tyres and tarmac and all that sort of thing. The next roundabout, follow the road ahead. That's it's the exit immediately after the fuel station. Texaco. roundabout, turn right. That's third exit. Very good. A lot to do there, isn't there, in a short space of time?
Yeah.
Do you reckon you've been justified going through on amber? The van quite
no,
close behind?
because,
I know, it's awkward, isn't it? Awkward call. I think you did the right thing, but still a risk of somebody going in the back. But yeah, she could have stepped off. It's third exit. Really awkward ones they are, particularly because she was busy. You was busy just overtaking, weren't you? To get in the other lane, which was good planning. But I guess that light and that person was always visible as well at the crossing. The other thing is, if you'd have gone through, my question to you would have been, do you think you could have stopped? I think sometimes there's no right or wrong answer, it's all the bits in between that needs the analysis, you know? Just to try and get the best outcome, because I bet you we could go through life and not have exactly the same measurements in time and space and speed than we had there. So it's, you know, it's tricky. Because she was about to say she could have stepped off. Yeah.
Because the two were on the, maybe the pedestrian was on the left hand side.
That's another factor. Yeah, good. How do you feel you've been getting on with your lane positioning then, since I mentioned earlier today at the beginning? Mentioned it twice, I think. Have I mentioned it since?
No.
Do you feel you've been getting on okay with that?
Yeah.
Have you been thinking about it actively, or have you just subconsciously put that in place? Yeah?
Sometimes, yeah, I'm thinking about it. Correcting.
At the next roundabout, so Spider Bridge, we'll go ahead, or Mitre Island, whatever you want to call it, we'll go ahead, follow the road ahead. So what do you need to be aware of then in this scenario?
Cyclists coming, motorists.
Is there anything coming down the middle?
No.
Can you see right down the road? Yeah. Do you reckon there could be before we get to the lights? Something come up? Possibility?
Yeah. But
How-
nothing at the moment.
Okay. How many phases do you think it'll take us to get through here?
How many phases of light?
Yeah.
Maybe another one.
You reckon we'll be on the second one from here?
Yeah, might be.
Might be.
Unless if this is too long.
Could be another one, could be another two, we'll see. Shalimar. Is that what it says on the back of there? Shalimar Gold. Another plug.
Sorry.
On the back of that car, it's. So we were talking about Curry's, weren't we, the other day?
Mm-hmm.
Much prefer the Viceroy, to be honest. Another plug.
Yesterday there was a lot of fog, but today it's a bit clear.
Fog.
Yeah. Yesterday.
Yeah.
It was very foggy yesterday. It is desperate to come into the.
Anything on your left? Because you steered left a bit. I knew you was going to, because the back end of that was sticking out. What am I asking? What am I just? Because I know you was aware back there. Things can change, especially when we're moving stop and slow. What are you expecting in that left?
Side shifts?
Yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah, just keep up to date. Particularly before you're going to do any manoeuvring, i.e. steering. Sunglasses, I reckon. It's worth investing in a good pair of glasses.
Yeah, it is.
Whole scenario looked a bit dangerous, and I didn't want to say anything so I'd distract you. You see the cyclist move across in the wrong side of the road behind that car, and then the van was had its signal on with its tyres out.
I quite observe it.
Didn't you? Second. Do you lifting that clutch up and the car going, whoop? You know where engine brakes? Slow down. So, like I say, I should have your video from yesterday uploaded later, so you'll be able to watch that tonight, and then this will probably be the following day by the time it's done what it needs to do. Well, the stuff I need to do to it. Can't believe the battery's still on that. It's going to cut off any time now.
How much time does it take to charge the battery?
Not that long. An hour or so, I think. 2 hours, an hour and a half. But it only lasts normally about an hour and a half. At the lights and turn left. Okay, Sharon, so how do you feel the lesson went?
It went on very well. I'm quite happy with the way it went.
Good. And
Yeah.
your objective at the beginning was what?
To be more confident with the driving, which I think I am now.
Yeah, I sort of said during the lesson actually it went really well. I didn't have to do all that much. It's getting less and less each lesson, would you say?
Yeah.
Good. And so what's the main takeaways from today? What are you most pleased with?
The tip which you gave to keep the gas ready and observe for the gap to come in to move, I think that really helped. It's quite useful.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. And you can be practicing that moving off from the side of the road as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a bit quicker on the old gas there.
Yeah.
How do you feel your parking went?
parking, yeah, it was quite nice. I think, moving forward into the bay, I think I need a little more practice. But reversing, I think I'm doing okay with it.
What would you scale it out of 5 at the moment?
Was it 3?
3. And how are we going to get it to? How are we going to get it to a higher number next lesson, or whenever you want to look at it, really?
Next lesson, maybe parking more, moving forward into the bay.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll have to get a feel for the mark where it stays on the door.
Okay.
And then I think I'll be okay with that as well. And
All right. And just to be clear,
Yeah.
sorry.
I think it will be getting better as we
Okay.
practice here.
Good. And what else have you been most pleased with today?
Everything, I would say.
Yeah, me too. It's been
Yeah.
a good one. So, what do you want to focus on next time? You said parking.
Mm-hmm.
We pulled up on the right today. That went okay.
Yeah. Nothing in specific. Probably if we get some time, maybe we can do the spiral roundabouts on the carriageways a little bit.
Okay. Could do that.
Yeah.
Do you want to follow some sat navs as well?
Yeah, maybe that will help as
Can
well.
incorporate that into it if you
Mhm.
like.
Yeah.
So that would be useful. So,
Yeah.
okay. Well, I'll catch up with you tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
Thank
I'll
you.
see you then. Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.